So, welcome back to the BRUBBLE podcast, where we have a special kind of edition episode here today. Instead of taking a serious look at the topics around us, we've decided to, branch out and do a ranked video. And what better topic to start off with the most subjective of national expressions, flags. So in this video or podcast, depending on the platform you're listening to, I've collected 32 of the greatest European flags, including all the flags from the EU, and some, fun ones from the side just to round out the bracket. And we'll be, doing a March Madness style bracket. And of course, I'm joined here by who I assume will be the co-host for this series going forward, unless I scare him off in the first episode, Dan.
Or unless I scare you off.
True, that is also a consideration.
It's less likely, but it still could happen.
It could. I wouldn't know how you would get in this building, but regardless.
Oh, I've got ways and means, Simon, don't worry.
Fair enough. So I wanted to start this off by saying, or asking you, Dan, what's your experience with flags? How much of an amateur vexologist are you? Or are you just excited to be on here?
Well, I was that kind of kid who read atlases and fact books and stuff, and a really geography nerd. So I know way more national flags and national capitals than I probably should.
Right.
So I feel I'm pretty good at flags, recognizing them. Do I have strong opinions on them? We will find out. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I'm gonna say I'm a flag. I'm flag curious.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Same as me. I like seeing what the vexologists get up to once in a while. I don't identify as one, despite my many fun facts on flags. Those are just professional research, not personal interest, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing, I'll put a caveat out there before we actually get into it. This is just personal opinion. If you are, for instance, the UK or what do you call them, British? That's a bad start, apologies. There's cameras on. Yes. If you're British and we, put you very lowly, don't take it personally. You just have a bad flag. So I think that's how we'll settle it.
As an Irish person, I will not say anything beyond that because I don't want to incriminate myself.
Fair enough. And I guess all cards on the table, I'm Dutch-Canadian, holding 2 passports, 2 flags, and a lot of fun, let's say.
That's, twice the flags, twice the fun.
Okay.
That's the phrase.
So, let's start getting into this. The way we have it set up is I have a March Madness style bracket where each flag is paired up against another flag, which was randomly selected to me by the random number generator in Excel. And we'll kind of work down this and finally determine who has the best flag. And our first coupling is, of course, Romania and Denmark.
Soulmates.
Soulmates?
They belong together. When you think Romania, don't you think Denmark straight afterwards?
I think I'm more inclined towards Moldova, but
Oh, yeah.
Or Chad.
Or Chad. That I was going to raise Chad. That is the elephant in the room. I don't know if they have elephants in Chad. Is that maybe the wrong part of Africa?
They probably the zoo.
I already exposed my bad geography here after saying I was good at geography, so fine. Chadians in the comments can come at me.
They're called Chadians?
I think they're called Chadians.
We should stick to Europe, though, is all
Let's stick to Europe, sorry, yes. We know Europe, sort of, so let's stick to Europe. I'm going to say that is, the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
They basically have an identical flag.
Yeah.
And you got to lose marks for a lack of originality, I would argue.
So, I looked into this. So Chad actually asked the UN in 2004 to investigate the similarities of the flags. Romania responded, no, we're not doing this. And conversation closed. But I will say, the Romanian colors came first, and then Chad kind of jumped on board, and then Romania got their flag.
That would make sense. I guess, given that Chad got independence, I imagine in the 60s. So, and Romania, has been around for longer than that. But kind of sums up the UN in a way. That is what they are doing with their time, are being asked to do with their time. General Assembly this week, guys. If you want to do flag investigations, strike while the iron is hot, I say. Chad, come back. It's been 19 years. Maybe, Guterres might reconsider.
Maybe.
It's up to you.
I will say, I'm not too sold on the colors beside each other. The blue, yellow, red is not my favorite color combination. It's a bit, I don't think it makes a good uniform, is all I'll say.
I think so, yeah. Because having yellow in the middle of a flag, when you're so used to seeing white in the middle of a flag, it kind of makes you feel like there's a mistake.
And as
somehow.
I've learned, and I'm going to drop my facts out here, we're spending a little longer in the first one, the order of colors on national symbols is called heraldity. I believe that's the way you say it. But yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Speaking of big words, let's move to a big country, Denmark.
Denmark.
What do we think of their flag?
Not a very big country, just going to say it's like 5 million people. Romania is much bigger. Anyway, see, Denmark kind of falls into what we're going to call the Scandi trap.
Right.
Or even the Nordic trap, you could say, because as people know, they all have the cross in their flags. But I believe Denmark is the oldest one.
It is. That's one of my fun facts.
Oh,
it's
yes.
the
I managed to call
oldest
one.
continuously used flag in the world.
Okay, look, yeah. Romania and Denmark have that in common then. They're both like OGs, and they've had imitators come after them in later years.
Right.
So they are soulmates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my final fun fact about Denmark?
Oh my god, yes.
This is a fun one, though, and I was quite surprised. So, do you know the origin of the Danish flag?
I believe I do. Do you want me to
Go for
say
it.
it? Okay, yeah, because I don't want to undercut you too much, but it was some guy, I'm going to say some kind of Viking leader, saw a cross in the sky, and that's what convinced him to convert to Christianity. I
Wrong.
think Alec Emperor Constantine.
It's wrong. That's for a different country.
Oh, okay.
The one that happened here, it involves the sky as well.
Right.
The Danes were fighting in some battle way back when, and all of a sudden, out of the sky fell a flag.
That's way worse.
And apparently, it turned the tides of the battle, and they won. So that's the predominant legend I found. Maybe it's closer to yours, but this is what I read.
God.
So I just have this image of this falling on some, brute soldier's head, blinding him, and them just pouncing on him. So, I don't create a past, world's oldest flag versus Romania's funky color scheme. What's going forward? My vote, personally, is of Denmark.
I think as well, yeah. For being like the OG flag, they found their look, they settled on it, and respect to Denmark. So I think they got to go through to the last 16.
Fair enough. I will say a bit of an upset. I feel like some people are attracted to the yellow stripe, but there's many more to come of yellow stripes.
Exactly. Yeah, yellow stripe fans, you will not be disappointed.
Moving onwards to our next matchup, it's the United Kingdom versus Italy.
It's a couple of heavyweights.
It is, and here I'm going to put forward on the table one point I have with flags. You need to be able to draw them. Like, if you're representing your country, a 10-year-old in social studies needs to be able to sit down and draw this flag properly. As somebody who's lived in Canada, where this stupid thing is on our provincial flag, there is no way to draw it properly.
It's on many, many flags.
Yes.
To be fair. It is the flag that is on the most flags.
Right.
I don't know if that's one of your fun facts.
It's not.
It doesn't really sound like a fact. Kind of just sounds like something I just kind of said in the moment. But
it's a fun stat.
It makes sense. Yeah. It is kind of iconic, though. It is kind of iconic.
Sticking to your Irish roots here?
I'm saying nothing. No, I will say several things. Look, it has... Both these flags have great branding. Mm-hmm. You think UK flag, was it Jerry Halliwell? Was it Ginger Spice had the UK flag dress? Or was it Emma Bunton? It was one of the Spice Girls. If my sister's listening to this, she will tell me afterwards.
She's a poofy hair thing, no?
Yeah, that sounds like the 90s, yeah. So, my sister will tell me afterwards which one it was, because she was a Spice Girls fan back in the day. But good branding, and it is cool that it's like 3 flags layered on top of each other.
Controversial stance. I've seen a lot of people arguing Scotland or Wales should be integrated as well. What are your perspectives?
Scotland or Wales integrated into this bracket?
Into this flag.
Scotland isn't the flag.
Oh, okay.
It's the blue part.
Ignore me. I have very terrible geographical knowledge in terms of British Isles alone. But Wales, I've seen some mock-ups where the middle part would just be that Welsh dragon.
Oh, well, I could get behind the dragon, yeah. If Wales was an entry here by itself, it would be going very deep into the competition. I'm absolutely sure of it. But, yeah. I think maybe we should move on to Italy now, because we don't get
I'll
bogged
give
down
my
in Union
final
Jack.
fun fact on the UK flag.
Please.
There's an upside part and a downside part.
That is true.
And you can actually fly it upside down which is not encouraged, but some people do it in moments of distress.
Yes, and like the Netherlands as well. People flying their Dutch flags upside down in recent times to show their displeasure with the government. So yeah, upside down flags works in some countries, doesn't work in others.
But it's more during like wartime if they're being attacked.
Generally,
that's what I saw.
Generally, although with the UK flag, it might be hard to tell if it's flying upside down.
Exactly.
Bit too subtle.
That was my reaction to this flag.
But yeah, so
Italy.
But also, yeah, like the British flag has its own name, like the Union Jack. Again,
I think
good
every
branding.
flag can have its own name.
Most of them is called like the
natives.
tricolore or the tricolor or something, you know, like
Right.
or just name the colours. Like the British one has like its own branding that stands out. That's also a plus point.
Fair enough. We'll move on to Italy then
Yes.
quickly. Give it some justice. Any thoughts? I will say it's not the first to use that color scheme. Down the bracket, Hungary was the first to claim this colors.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of jumped in. They stole it also from the French, who originally contemplated for a day or two they were going to be green, white, red instead of blue, white, red. And then Italy, alongside Napoleon, saw an opportunity.
You see, I'm kind of conflating Italy's like fashion sense as a country, with its flag.
Right.
So I think the flag is more fashionable than it actually is because Italy is fashionable.
Yeah. Fair enough. I don't see the style. I will give you one Brussels-related fun fact.
Can't wait.
It's called the BRUBBLE podcast, the Brussels Bubble podcast. You got to have a Brussels, element. So this flag, until 2002, did not have set colors. So the green could be any shade of green, the red could be any shade of red. They didn't specify it. So this one Italian MEP was sitting in the Justus Lipsius in the Council of Europe, and he noticed that the red on the Italian flag was very close to orange, and he was not happy. He wrote a super long report, sent it to the Italian government, and they promptly fixed and made it a standard color.
Whatever that orange country is, has a lot to answer for. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Personally, my vote probably here is with the Union Jack. You're saying good branding. The Italian one, it just doesn't scream Italian, classiness to me. I think it needs a bit more, pizzazz going on it.
They could do like a collab with like Versace or something.
Yeah.
And really like jazz it up.
Exactly. Like I think most design houses would have, add some like gold filigrants or I see Georgia peeking out down here. Add like a little cross in there or something. Just something spicy.
I agree. So yeah, I think Union Jack, last 16, we probably should speed this up because we're dwelling too much on these flags.
Well, next one's Georgia versus Hungary. We've already spoken about Hungary quickly. Georgia, initial impressions.
You kind of forget it's an England flag just with little England flags in it.
They would not like that statement. It's supposed to be 5 crosses which have religious symbols to it. Nothing to do with the English flag.
Oh, well, it's Georgia. It's the St. George's Cross.
Oh.
So it is...
Okay.
It is an England flag.
I did my research deep enough.
Well, England's not an independent country, so yeah, that's why you go into these subnational parts.
Okay. I think it's fine as a flag. I will say some people don't like it, including, fun fact, the former Prime Minister of Georgia, who his name was, I got his in my notes, Edward Shevardnadze or something.
That was absolutely flawless first time.
Yes. Well, they decided on his new flag concept in 1999, and he was so appalled, he did not like it. He refused to sign off on the official decision to make the flag. So it did not become the flag till 2004 when he was, ousted out of government.
Okay, he held up that flag for 5 years. Fair play to Edward.
Do you Oh, no, I'm not doing this again. Edward S. is what I'll say.
No, that's too obvious. Let's call him E.
Regardless, we'll leave that blank for your imagination to fill in.
I like Georgia though. It's different. Like
different.
what other flags are doing this whole like different thing in each quarter?
I mean, religious elements are on many flags.
Yeah, I know, but like the design aspect of it, I think it is unique, and you kind of almost forget it is basically an England flag.
And I will say, it's up against Hungary.
It's up against Hungary.
And Hungary, it's not my favorite flag. They originally wanted it to be the exact same as the Italian flag, like I mentioned earlier, but they were like, Italy's a bigger country. Why not put it horizontal instead of vertical?
Oh, guys.
They already gave up before it started.
Guys, that's sad. Come on now. Yeah, you really got to have some more faith in yourself.
Yeah.
You'd rather go with a different design entirely, because...
Yeah. I think today that would not fly from Hungary. I think
Oh, no, definitely not. No, Hungary would try and sue Italy somehow to change their flag. I think it's got to be Georgia.
There we go. Another English choice from you. I'm sensing a pattern here.
Well, it's kind of that thing where I'm kind of overcompensating. You know, I don't want to be like just like hating on anything English/British. So maybe now I'm kind of going too far the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, talking about undercompensating or overcompensating states, we have Latvia against Lithuania. Coming in there, coming hot.
Ooh, two neighbors
They are
here clashing.
a good random clash put together.
Mm-hmm.
I have great facts for both of these.
I'm so excited. Initial thoughts on Latvia. I think good color. Good color, the maroon.
It's
I
called
like it.
Carmine.
It's called Carmine.
Carmine red.
I think in Italian that's called Carmine, the name, but
Well, you're the linguist here.
Exactly. So Carmine red, looking very well, and it's in colour you don't see very often in flags.
It's a rare colour.
And as well, I kind of like that they didn't just do 3 equal stripes. That they were like, let's just kind of like do like a different aspect ratio here on the middle stripe. I respect that.
Yeah. Lithuania thoughts? I think this was controversial. It doesn't look like anything. No other flags have this weird color choice going on.
Not in Europe, no. I feel like a lot of flags in Africa kind of look like this.
Fair
like
enough.
yellow, green, red, I think is pretty common. Like, say, Senegal, but like...
Right.
It's just kind of 3 colors. It doesn't really feel like anything special. I don't know. Maybe there's some significance which you're going to...
There is.
Clarify for us.
I'll do Latvia first, because they're first on the list.
Go ahead.
So in 1205 or the 1200s, some Latvian leader was fighting on a battlefield and got wounded and was wearing a white tunic and bled so much that by the time he finished or died or whatever, there was just red with a white stripe.
Oh, okay. It would make more sense if the other way around.
Well, he bled so much in the white tunic that
There's a stripe in the middle.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, this is so."
But so he was bleeding from 2 sides?
I don't know. It didn't say which direction.
I'm just saying, like, it would kind of make sense if it was like half and half, white and red, or like red in the middle and white either side.
I'll say there's a
story.
like
the Belarusian protest flag, maybe that's more...
I'll say there's a story that answers some of these questions later on with a similar origin story.
Oh, look at that. See, he's planting seeds to keep listening.
Lithuania, though, their story is a story of FOMO, is what I'll say. So what happened is in the 1800s, they had this beautiful red flag with a whole knight on it. Really majestic. You see it hanging up there. Quite the impressive thing.
Yeah.
Then they saw, hey, all these countries getting striped flags. Why don't we get a striped flag? And what happened is they're like, let's do it. Let's decide a new flag. So initially, they decided on a green and red version. Okay. So it was just a green and red. And then some guy in the back was like, this is too gloomy. It doesn't represent the brightness that Lithuania evokes. And so, as a result, they put on an orange stripe at the top.
Orange?
I would say yellow, whatever color they want to call it.
This is an issue here is also to address, is that the way that people see colors differently.
Right.
That is going to have an impact. And like men and women see colors differently, and people just, 'cause for me that's yellow, and for you that's orange, so...
It's like mustard in a sense, almost.
I think mustard. But... yeah, I think they should have stuck with the knight. The knight would have been good.
I like the color being included, but the fact that they moved away from that beautiful image of a knight, please Google it. It's definitely worth it. Makes me want to sway a bit more to Estonia.
Or if you ever get a euro...
Latvia.
If you ever get a euro coin, and it's from Lithuania, you will see that knight in the back of it.
Yeah, it's such a tragedy.
Look in your wallet, look in your purse, it might well be there.
Lithuanians, you can always revert back.
You can always go back, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Latvia.
Okay, I will agree with you there as well.
I feel like we've been pretty aligned so far. I think it's only going to get more contentious as we get deeper into it.
It might. It
might well.
And I think the second round will heat up a bit.
Exactly, yeah.
Here are 2 flags, Spain and Malta. These have one thing in common. Can you guess what it is?
Spain and Malta, they both have red on them.
Good observation, but they also both have letters on them.
Oh, I did actually look at the Spain flag last night, and I did notice that it has the logo. The Maltese one, though, that writing is so small.
I'll show the viewers in a second.
You are not going to be able to see that.
The Spain, the writing says plus ultra, which great translation again.
It means
further beyond. I had to check my
because
note there.
of the Straits of Gibraltar.
Yes, and these are called the Pillars of Hercules, which is
Exactly, yeah, which is the end of the kind of European sphere back in antiquity. So,
and I'm going to zoom in here on the writing on the Maltese flag.
Damn, there is writing on it. Okay.
It's kind of cool. I really enjoyed seeing it.
That's an Easter egg there now, guys. I hope you're enjoying that.
It says, I know, I was really surprised to learn it. It says for gallantry, which is kind of cool. And it has a horse, a knight holding a sword, rearing the horse, getting the horse.
Lithuania, you can keep a knight in your flag.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the main event, but you can keep it there as a fun little extra for people.
And I will say, for children trying to draw this, they're not going to go this small. You can just draw a little cross on the corner.
I didn't even know it was there.
Same. I just
thought there's a squiggle there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's another layer there. That's kind of made it better.
When I learned that, I'm like, this kind of
it's gone up a few points in my estimation.
Yes.
Because Spain is a little bit too fussy with coat of arms.
And they put so much stuff in there. The coat of arms is a collection of every single coat of arms of every district they have, basically. It's a bit of a hodgepodge.
Yeah, it's trying to do too much. And the Second Republic flag with the purple, that was a beautiful flag. Not enough purple on flags.
Yeah, I agree.
If that flag was here, that'd be doing very well, but I think it's got to be Malta.
Mine too. I would have fought for those letters. For gallantry. You know?
For gallantry. Huzzah.
And it's such a step up from their English versions they had.
God.
Okay, now we have Austria and Ukraine. And before we go off, this is where my second part of that story comes in.
Oh, excellent. Oh, of course. Yeah, I guess Austria and Latvia are pretty similar. I can't
yes,
wait.
their flags are very similar, and their origin stories are quite similar too. So, Duke Leopold of Austria, way back when, as legend has it, was very engrossed in the battle and was going around killing people, and he got covered in blood. And he came home, or I guess wherever he dressed, took off his belt and was like, "Look, I'm all red with a white stripe. This is amazing. Let's make it into a flag."
Okay. See, a belt now is a good one.
Yeah, I want to keep some
He planted a seed, and now it's making sense. A belt would leave a white stripe.
Yeah.
God. See, this is why you're the best in the business.
Yeah.
You do your research.
And I will say the difference between Austria and Latvia is, one, the guy died and was covered in blood. This guy, Leopold, killed so many people he was drenched in the blood of his enemies.
And just whipped off his belt and say, "Oh my God, this would be a great flag, lads, wouldn't it?"
Yeah.
I respect Leopold's hustle. God, there's a lot of battles involved in flag creation.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah. Okay. So
Ukraine,
it's pretty standard. I think for Irish people, of course, we know that like the counties in Ireland kind of have a lot of these kind of like two-tone flags.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of looks like a Tipperary flag.
Right.
So it's a little bit standard, and the colors too. You're like, oh, let me guess, it's like the sky and the land, because Ukraine has a lot of corn. It's kind of it feels a little bit too obvious, and I like the coat of arms, the trident that they have. If you want to put that in flag, that would elevate it. But yeah, the current flag is a bit bland. Unless you have a fun fact that'll win me over.
I couldn't find many fun facts. It was mainly that it used to be brighter. In 2006, they changed the color scheme to be a bit darker, because it used to be this really neon bright yellow.
It used to be.
It's like one of those memories which you don't realize you still had.
It was that Lithuanian guy who said, "It looks a bit gloomy, guys. Do we have like a brighter yellow, maybe?"
Yeah, I didn't like that yellow. I'm glad they changed it. I like a bit more of a muted color scheme. That yellow was way too bright.
See, this is the thing. These are things that don't get reported in the news. And then you realize that the color did change the Ukraine flag.
It's like those like Berenstain, like
Mandela
effects.
Yeah, it's so true. Except this actually happened.
But I will say they're showing signs. They're improving.
Yes,
and there's hope. So if we move on with Austria here for that epic, victor who slayed his enemies, which Ukraine will slay their enemies. So maybe you add a stripe of blood in there.
You won't hear that on the regular Bros podcast. It's a lot more measured. I think it's got to be Austria. It's they're not great picks either of them, but Austria has a better story behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Germany. Greece versus Belgium.
Okay.
Up next. Greece surprised me the most when I learned about its history.
Okay, yeah, because you would think that maybe this would be like one of the oldest flags because of how
1820.
ancient. Yeah, exactly. That surprises me. You think, yeah, Greece is like quite a long history, but I don't know. It's kind of I like the top left thing, like to do like for the American flag, but the fact it's kind of the same colors gives it kind of a disorienting effect.
I agree. The worst part is there's no history behind it. There is literally nobody can find a reason why it is the way it is. There's 9 stripes, nobody knows why. It's blue and white, nobody knows why. I quote from the Greek Encyclopedia of 1934.
I can't wait for this.
Say many things have been said for the causes which led to this specification for the Greek flag, but without historical merit.
A lot of shit has been talked about this flag by fellas at pubs, and no one really knows why.
Apparently, they just didn't record why they made it the way it is in the 1820s. And it's just been
branding,
lost.
guys. Branding is so important. Like America, they knew what they were doing. They had the stars, they had the stripes.
Yeah,
they
and the stripe for each, for each of the original colonies,
exactly,
the star for each. I like that symmetry.
And
this,
surely, like someone could have made up a bullshit reason for why it was 9. There must be something 9 in Greek history. I'm sure I can find 9 in Irish history to justify it. You know?
The best claim they have is this motto or something where it's like, I forget what it was. I didn't write it down, but apparently the syllables of it is 9 long.
See, this is what happens. He didn't write it down. The Greeks didn't write it down. Man. This is the lack of recorded history. This is the impact it has.
But talking about countries of lack of recorded history, or should have, Belgium, where we are today, it's a bit square.
I didn't realize it was so square.
It's very square.
I thought that was you just messed up.
No,
so.
I took these from Wikipedia, so if this is wrong, fixed on Wikipedia. That's my source for all this. The other fun fact with this one, it's wrong.
That
Did you hear
so
about this?
unsurprising.
So apparently, in the Belgian constitution, it says the people of Belgium has chosen for its colors red, yellow, and black.
So it's wrongly earned.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
And they didn't notice until literally the 1990s.
Grow up, Belgium.
And they just didn't bother passing a resolution to amend the constitution.
See, like, you don't want people to take the piss out of your country, and then you have your flag backwards for 160 years, and you're kind of just like...
Nobody noticed,
Nobody did notice. And, that's what happened with Ireland. And that's how you get the Cote d'Ivoire flag.
I do think it's better this way. I do prefer the black being on the flagpole side.
Is there a way for us to flip this around and see? Could you do a little...
I could if
work your magic on it and do... Oh, okay, there we go. That was easy. Yeah, I agree. Maybe it's just I'm used to seeing the normal one, but I think black... I like black on a flag.
Yeah.
I do like black on a flag.
Not too much, but a little is nice.
I think it's a strong colour. And kind of, I almost feel sorry for them for getting it the wrong way around.
You just don't like the Greek flag is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Again,
it's
not the strongest pairing. Like UK versus Italy was a very strong face-off, let's say. So this side of the bracket is that there's a chance for someone to cause an upset, that's for sure.
Yeah. Plus, I like the squareness,
Yeah.
Last one on the first side, it's Bulgaria versus Slovakia.
Okay.
2 countries you think about every day.
I'm absolutely obsessed with Bulgaria and Slovakia. Just Schengen accession is always in the top of my mind.
Wow, the Bulgarian flag is actually quite boring. I don't have any great facts about it. It used to be the exact same as the Russian flag until they put the green stripe on it. And the Slovakian flag was the Russian flag as well until they put the badge on it.
Yeah, it is actually. Damn, okay,
so it's quite of a matchup.
So yeah, the Bulgarian one, they just like, if you peel off the green, you're like, oh wait, this used to be a Russia flag, what the hell? And then the Slovakia, they just slapped a sticker on it.
Who did it better, do you think?
Who did it better? I'm going to say Slovakia did it better because...
I will say Bulgaria is more distinctive.
Yes, that is true. We're going to come on to a flag that looks very like Slovakia's.
Yes, pretty soon.
But Bulgaria, yeah, they didn't do a fun color. Just green is a very...
I mean, there's debatable what shade of green it is. It could be military green, or it could be other green.
Forest racing green.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think no, the Slovakia logo is a fun one. I like it, and I like how it's kind of off to one side.
Right.
As well. I can get behind that.
It's well designed. The visual designer who made it in the 90s designed over 100 flags and logos for various Slovakian countries, municipalities.
Damn.
So he has some experience.
He had a monopoly on that. He was just a flag guy, yeah.
He was, yeah.
Just like Flag Yan, just call him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
The fun fact about the Bulgarian flag is I couldn't find a fun fact about the Bulgarian flag, so I found a fun fact about them having a flag. So apparently in the year 800, Bulgarian Prince Boris,
Great
old
name.
buddy Boris, he was ordered or advised, by the Pope to adopt a flag instead of waving around a horse tail. So anything's better, you know.
Why do they have the horsetail on the flag? Again, branding. It's so important. So
I
important.
don't think it inspires much nowadays, but
Yeah, that'd be good. And the Slovakia one, these crosses, could you elucidate on that?
it's a symbol that was important in their past. So their old flag before the Soviet flag also had this thing in the middle, but a bit smaller.
Okay.
That's about it. It's a religious symbol as well, as most are.
Naturally. I think it's got to go to Slovakia for this one.
I would personally lean a bit towards Bulgaria, but I'm not too annoyed. I think the green is an interesting shade, at least. It reminds me of like a Slavic name, like Borogochkev green or something, you know? I don't know. I'm making something up. I hope it didn't insult
Machka
anyone.
green.
We'll move on to Slovakia. I'll get the next one, I guess.
There we go. I'm the guest, so I get to pick. That's how it works when we can't decide.
I guess so. Let us move on to the next side of the bracket.
Oh,
We'll work top down. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, don't move too fast.
So it's Czech Republic versus Poland. I found it great. My mind was blown when doing my research for this.
So the Slovakian guy crossed the border to the Czech Republic and designed all 4,000 flags in the Czech Republic.
No, this is a great matchup because they used to be the same flag.
Oh my god, they did. Look, they just slapped a triangle on it.
They did that in the 1900s.
This is so revealing. This podcast is telling me so much.
It blew my mind because I always thought it was like actual triangular figures, but no, they slapped this blue one on because it was too close to Poland.
Peel it off. It's a Poland flag underneath.
Yep.
Different shade of red though.
I don't think they're too fussed about it.
Yeah, but the Poland one does look like Electrode,
Singapore. Oh,
the Pokemon,
right.
who's
right,
like the Pokeball.
right.
That's
yeah.
what it looks like.
I get that, and
Yeah. Now I will say I am from Cork in Ireland, and the colours of Cork are red and white, so I should have a preference for the Poland flag, but it's maybe leaving me a little cold.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't find much with the Polish flag. Sometimes they have their little logo on it as well.
Oh, the eagle. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is a better looking flag.
Mm-hmm.
A little more interesting, but I guess
Yeah.
it's harder to draw.
Yeah. I think the Czech flag, it's got this triangle thing going, kind of like the South Africa flag. And I
Yeah.
think, just like it makes it more visually interesting.
My fun fact, though,
Here we go.
this is a really fun one.
Here we go.
So, when Czechoslovakia broke up, they passed a resolution in Czechoslovakia that none of the future countries, so Slovakia and Czech Republic, can use any national imagery they used to have for Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
So Slovakia went out, designed their own flag, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Czech Republic was like, we'll do that, except for the flag. We'll take the flag.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, I was like, didn't they have the same flag?
Yeah. So I found this quote somewhere. According to one article I read, this was a rude violation of the resolution. Slovakia wasn't happy about that, but the Czechs said that the resolution was made by the country that didn't exist anymore and kept the flag anyways.
That's genius. That is genius. Yeah.
I think it's kind of scummy.
Oh, it is very scummy. It's scummily genius.
I'll move on for that.
Yeah, I think just say it doesn't exist anymore. There was a story in Ireland about there was like complaints about driving instructors and they wanted to look into it. Like people have been talking about this, and then media like contacted the Driving Instructors Association. It didn't exist anymore because they were creating a new one.
Yes.
So then they were just like, oh, we can't feed any of these questions as our association doesn't exist anymore. So I think just like disappearing from existence, it's always a good tactic. It's like
Right.
faking your own death.
Right. I just see Slovakia being super annoyed at this though.
Yeah, I would be unimpressed.
Yeah. Well, moving onwards to two countries, one of which is a bit less impressive than the other. I'm going to leave the viewer to decide which one is which. Luxembourg and Sweden.
Okay, you got to go home and say that you're not impressed by Luxembourg, but fine.
My partner may or may not be Luxembourgish, but you know what doesn't impress me with Luxembourg? They didn't have a flag until 1830, until they were told to get a flag.
Because they were waving around the horse tail?
No, they just didn't want one. They were like, we have an emblem, why do we need a flag? And then they made this flag, and guess when it was officially adopted as a flag?
2002.
Close, 1993.
Wow, okay.
They were part of the EU without officially having a flag.
Yeah, they're just like, this is close enough, I guess.
Crazy. And then people have complained a lot, it's close to the Dutch flag, and every so often there's a resolution which nobody seems to care about, because I don't think they care about their flag.
Yeah, I think they got better things to be doing in Luxembourg, like making money.
Sure.
So, you got to leave them to it.
Sweden,
yeah, it's like the Danish flag. I think it's a better colour scheme. I think
speaking of the colours, in 1906 they changed it for the blue to be lighter, because it used to be a darker blue.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I like the contrast, you know. Obviously, IKEA took those colours, and
they were right.
I think it's strong, like yellow on a blue background. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. So, sorry, Luxembourg, you don't care about your flag, so why should we?
Yeah.
That was my argument. And Sweden, seems to care vaguely by changing the colour. So I think Sweden.
Yeah, and this was also the flag which you misremembered your initial story from. Because when King Eric was crossing into Finland in the conquest, he saw a shining cross in the sky.
Here we go. Okay, so everyone just loves a cross, seemingly. Yeah. That's a better story than a flag fell on me.
Yeah.
Just be clear, Denmark. But make a better story.
I will say, personally, I don't like the blue-yellow contrast, but I like the baby blue even less. So
yes,
that's my reason for having it go on.
Okay.
So, moving downwards, we have Moldova versus Finland.
Here we go. See, I respect Moldova for putting a cow in the middle of their flag. I respect them for it.
There have been so many proposals over the years to make the flag just a cow.
And I can see why.
Yeah.
I can see why. What other country is going to have a cow on it?
Maybe some African country. I feel like Zimbabwe has something close.
No, that's a bird, isn't it?
Which is the one that has like that cattle ox thing in the shields?
That's not Zimbabwe anyway, I don't think.
Kenya, maybe. The one with an M.
Kenya has the Maasai shield on it.
Right. Regardless, we'll get to that someday.
Yes,
if you want to see a follow-up on those flags, please drop a comment below and a like and a subscription. This is inspired by the Romanian flag. They just slapped their emblem on it.
I'm shocked. They speak Romanian, and they took the Romanian flag, and they were like, you know what? People want to see a cow.
And there's a very fun thing about this flag, that it shares only with the flag of Paraguay.
Oh, wait. It doesn't have a plant on it.
Nope.
Okay, what is it?
It is double-sided. There's an official front and backside to the flag, and the backside doesn't have the emblem.
Wow.
So the backside just mirrored without the emblem.
Okay. Good
so only two countries in the world have that. So pub trivia question, Paraguay and Moldova.
God, man, these are some fun facts. I actually am having fun.
I was up till 12:30 last night researching these. Okay, Finland. I like it. I think it's a simple design. I think it's aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
I think it's appropriate for the country. You think, like, there's lots of snow.
Yeah.
There's lots of lakes.
Mm-hmm.
White and blue. Good thickness on the cross.
Yeah.
As well. It's tough because they're both kind of derivative. They're, like Moldova's just Romanian flag, which we kind of weren't impressed by. Right. But the emblem is really rocketing it up the rankings. And then Finland is kind of just, it's a good version of a Nordic flag.
It's a new flag, though. As in, it was created only in the 1900s, late 1800s. And there's quite a controversy around creating it. So it's decent, but I thought they could have done something more than a Nordic cross,
This one I'm very torn on. I'm really not sure. If you've got strong feelings, then I'm happy to go with you.
I mean, Moldova, 2 for the price of 1.
That's true. That has a backside, guys.
And the fun fact about the Finnish flag is, if you are a yacht club in Finland, you can officially request to have your emblem to have a custom flag made with the emblem of your yacht club on the Finnish flag, and it counts as an official flag.
Excellent. So it has like the most versions then of its.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's a bit sketchy. They don't recommend that you go sailing around of it because nobody will recognize it internationally, but it should be recognized.
It's like fun to hang up like in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, yeah, okay, you know, it's like the way soccer fans like go to tournaments with like images printed on the flag. So yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm happy to go with Moldova in that case.
Okay. Moldova moves forward then. Let's move onwards to the next couplet. I think you call them couplets, right?
I think you could call it a couplet, yeah.
The EU versus the Netherlands.
The EU here is the rogue outsider.
In a sense, I think it's a decent flag of unity. I have one big issue with it.
Not enough stars.
The stars don't mean anything. Oh. There's no meaning to the stars. They're like, oh, it's just a bunch of like 9 stars forming a nice circle. There's no correlation to original founding members. There's no correlation to members in the EU. It's
just like a good symmetrical number.
Yeah. Just some graphic designer, in the bleak, technocratic thing that the EU is. They're like, let's make it symmetrical and nice.
But it wasn't the EU's flag originally.
Right, the coal union or
no, the Council of Europe.
Right. Apologies.
Yeah, so the Council of Europe came up with the flag and then the EU stole it off them. Which I kind of admire the brazenness of it.
Fair enough.
Because the EU is so much more well known than the Council of Europe, and the Council of Europe is just there stewing in Strasbourg being like, we came up with that flag, and then people think that we stole it off the EU. And
what's their flag now? It's just their picture of their sitting place, right?
Council of Europe?
Yeah.
I think it's still the same one. I've been there, yeah. And I got a picture taken with it, and I was like, poor Council of Europe. People always confuse them with the EU, and they have the same flag.
Yeah. Well, the Netherlands should not be confused with any flag, because, fun fact with the Netherlands, it's the oldest tricolor flag in continuous use, meaning every other tricolor flag came after it, and it inspired the French flag, which inspired most of the other tricolors on this whole list.
Yeah, I feel like I have seen old paintings with like this Dutch flag, fluttering off the back of a ship. So it has very good history behind it. It has a good pedigree.
Yeah, I have one other gripe with this one as well.
That it's not orange anymore.
Yeah, well, it was never orange to begin with.
I thought it was orange. Okay.
It's called the princess. Well, so the princess flag is the one that has orange instead of red. And they use it more as like, little not protest, but a little, oh look, we're patriotic, it's orange, heis van Oranje, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's more used by the right wing movement, that kind of stuff. So it's a bit more.
It's been co-opted.
Yeah, but I like, because it's such a big part of Dutch heritage, that orangeness, and it's not represented in any way. Like, I like how when it's like Koningsdag or Koninginnedag in the Netherlands, they have the little orange banner that they fly on the flags, which isn't recommended you do, which I think should just be standard practice. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. It's like a fun DLC for your flag.
Or just have like an orange stripe on the flag or something like that. It might skew with it a little bit, but
Where would you put the orange stripe?
Maybe like, I'm not sure. Maybe like an asymmetrical jag across it. I don't know.
Or like the Czech kind of triangle.
Yeah,
on
something
on
like
the side.
that.
Yeah, I agree, because like it is funny how much orange is a part of like the Dutch brand, and yet it's not reflected. It'd be like if there's no green on an Irish flag.
Right.
It would be a bit weird.
Yeah.
So I think that is maybe a mark against it, but it's still probably.
It's a good flag though.
It's a good flag, yeah. And the
Basic,
EU one
inspired a lot. I see nobody doing what the EU did.
The EU one is unique at the same time.
I mean, it's unique, but it's also the idea you would come up with if you were asked to design a flag for the EU. Right? Like, I don't think there's that much creativity in making a circle of stars.
Yeah, they could have done something different. You're not wrong.
And it doesn't scream Europe. That's the thing.
What would scream Europe?
A map of Europe or something. Like something to
that's a bit too on the nose.
No, but like it's supposed to be a collective identity. I mean, European states, coming together to form this union. It just has some stars in a circle that doesn't represent the states. There's nothing European about it.
Yeah, what can we all agree on? Potatoes? We all eat potatoes, don't we?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, nice potato one there.
Okay, it seems like you're quite strongly against the EU flag, so I'm not going to... And also, you are Dutch, so I'm not going to get in the way of your flag.
Yeah, let's see. But I will say there's room for improvement for the Dutch. I know it has a large history.
Yeah.
But if it has...
Ruimte voor Oranje.
Yeah.
So...
I'm glad it moves on. I thought it might lose here. It was a tough matchup, I will say.
Speed of tough matchups.
Croatia versus Ireland. Randomly generated, just saying.
Damn it. I like the Croatia flag as well. I do like it. It's a great logo. It's got a goat on it, guys.
It doesn't only have a goat on it.
Not only a goat.
It has 3 leopards, as well as a
manticore.
A marten, which is a cute little animal.
Oh yeah, like a pine marten, like a little stoat. Oh my god, it does.
Yeah, it's cute, no?
Now it would have been funnier if it was just some guy called Martin.
Yeah.
But we'll also take that.
Also, these leopards are not leopards. They're just janky looking
Oh, it's like medieval leopards, you know? Like the artist had never actually seen one.
Yeah.
Like look up like medieval crocodiles, like you'll have a fun time.
Yeah, they're like, it has a mane, right? Just smaller than the lion.
Yeah, the goat is good though. And it has the
little
star,
red socks.
And it has the star and crescent. This is
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't realize it had the Islamic thing going on as well.
I will say, this is just the logo though, the emblem, the state, whatchamacallit? The state
Coat of arms.
Coat of arms. Apologies, I keep forgetting that word.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the checkers.
I love the checkers. Like I actually
It's a hot take on my part, but
I own a Croatia jersey,
right,
and it's one of my favorites because it has the checkers, the tablecloth. I think it's
right.
It's unique, but the Ireland flag is the Ireland flag. I don't know if I want to knock out the Ireland flag on the first go. I think I have to try and drag it through.
It was designed by some French women. The Irish flag. Did you know?
What?
Yeah, some French women designed it sometime. They gifted it to you guys. And then you're like, oh, well, the one side represents the Catholics and the other was the Protestants coming together in peace.
That I did know. And that's also, that didn't really work out very well. we haven't had much
flag
peace.
had that harp on it, which was kind of cool.
The Plough in the Stars as well is also a good one.
Yeah.
Which is like the Big Dipper, like the constellation. You can also see that flag sometimes.
But this one has orange.
This one does have orange on it.
Which, is that Irish colour?
It's the Protestant colour.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
as a
orange
Protestant, I should notice, but
the orange order, Willem van Oranje.
This is growing up in my ranks.
Yeah, but it's funny because like Ireland was like, you know, a Catholic dictatorship for like a few decades there, so having the Protestant colour on the flag was, you know, a bit of a joke, really.
How are you leaning? I like the little manta animal, Martin. Sorry. Our
flag doesn't have a goat on it, and it needs one.
I'll do the honest for you.
Yeah, you know what? Do it. I'm sorry, Tobroner. To any of my Irish friends / family listening, we are pretty Croatia ahead.
I will say the last Irish person I had on this podcast, other than you, identified as English when I asked him to introduce himself. So
I remember.
I'm just kind of saying the trend.
I remember.
And now irishing the Irish
he's going to get
Brussels.
me back. He's going to get me back big time now. Just one last point as well.
Okay.
I have been mistaken for a Croatian. I wore a Croatia jersey during the Euros 2 years ago when they were playing England.
Yeah.
And I was walking in the street and I got beeped several times by Croatians in Cork. And I just put a vodka back at them and I felt like I was...
Are you trying to switch your nationality on us now?
I'm just saying, I felt very special and wanted that day. It's never happened to me before, so... Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we have Portugal versus Germany.
Okay, this feels like a World Cup match right here. This feels... Yeah,
it does. The Portugal flag is interesting.
It's fussy.
Fussy?
It's fussy.
How so?
It's like the Spain flag, you know? It's like the coat of arms. It's like a bit too... There's too much going on. You too many pen strokes, we'll say.
I will say, there's 3 things. There's the colours in the background. Mm-hmm. There's the coat of arms. And then there's this ball thing. Have you realized what it is?
Is it like astrolabe?
It is. It's an ancillary sphere, which represents their age of enlightenment, of going out in the seas and doing things.
And
I did not know that, and it blew my mind. Yeah. And I was like...
Gotta zoom in now.
But it's like that little ball for navigational purposes and
stuff. Yeah, I just didn't realize it was like a 3D object.
It was part of the coat of arms forever.
Yeah, but of course, but they're hiding it behind. They're hiding it behind it.
What are you going to do, put it in the side like a little sphere?
Yeah, I think just have it orbiting the flag. I think that would be fun.
This flag just be a circle.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good time. That's good. That's a good addition to a flag now.
And it really represents the history of it. It's so well aligned. It breaks up the flag really nicely.
Yeah, and they are nice colors. The like the deep green.
Right.
It's a nice green.
Fun fact, deep green was not actually a Portuguese color. They just had this flag because when they were deciding on new flags, the guys who overthrew the previous government were like the Republican Party, and this was the Republican Party's flag, the red and green.
And it's the Brussels colors as well. Yeah, pretty similar. Brussels is red and green.
I do not know the
And you
Brussels
got a
flag.
St. George in the middle, so that is similar. I think it's also like a yellow figure of St. George,
Right.
so it's a similar scheme. I do like the Portugal flag. It's just, sorry, I said I flip flop because I said I didn't like it earlier, but the astrolabe thing has really changed my perspective.
I didn't realize, and I blew up because I was looking. Is there an interesting fact? Interesting
Yeah.
fact. I'm like, what?
That's an important lesson, guys. You know, it's okay
Yeah.
to change your mind on things.
Yeah.
I've changed my mind on the Portuguese flag in the last 90 seconds, and I think all of you could do that as well.
So German flag. Black, red, gold, not yellow.
Oh yeah.
Officially, it's a gold.
Oh, but in Ireland we also say green, white, and gold for our flag. You know,
Really?
it's very clearly orange. Yeah, it's silly. I know.
See, it used to be more prominently gold because they used to, when it was published in books and stuff, they would actually sometimes go the extra mile and make it more shiny, which is kind of cool.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
But then-
As I said, I like black on the flag.
But then they put out this corporate branding guidelines, and it got down to this muted yellow because I guess not every kid had a gold crayon in their coloring box. So
Well, that just shows, yeah, the German government grinding its people down.
yeah,
Very disappointing.
very efficient. But
I was trying not to say that word, and you even outbroken it.
I just don't. There's not much. I mean, I guess it's not supposed to have much of Germany's past in it, for some reasons.
Yeah, like the eagle. No, we're
Yeah,
not putting the eagle in.
some person just kind of misappropriated most of their cultural symbols.
Yeah, and because I remember when I was on Erasmus, we towards the end of the year we helped out with like informing some of the French students about like our countries as Erasmus destinations, and they had like our flags out, and the German flag was one with the eagle on it, and my German friend was very kind of confused / like slightly perturbed. She was just kind of like, in Germany you wouldn't fly this flag.
Right.
Outside of maybe like a sports context,
Right.
it's like safe there. Yeah. So the current German flag, like it's good. It does the job, but I think the astrolabe, man,
It
is
really won me over. It went from being like a bit convoluted, like you were saying, to being like a really top contender.
You flip my whole perspective, Portugal. I don't know what's up and what's down anymore.
Second to last matchup, Slovenia and Estonia.
Okay.
Slovenia, again, one of those Russian-inspired flags.
Yes, that is true. But I do like it's a Triglav, isn't it?
It is the highest mountain in Slovenia.
Yeah. Because I have a couple of Slovene friends, and I do like it. Also, they have very nice jerseys when they have the Triglav.
I didn't know the jerseys.
As like the kind of like bisecting the jersey, we'll say.
Right. It's,
And
the rivers is like the Danube, I believe, as well as local rivers is the other one.
that would make sense. Yeah, the Ljubljanica.
But the issue is, we're talking now about the flag, about the coat of arms again. The flag itself is just a flag with a coat of arms pasted on it.
Come on.
And this flag
come
is a Russian
on.
flag.
The
It's
coat of arms is doing a lot of work here.
It's doing a lot of work, but I mean, once we do our coat of arms video, you know.
You're trying to spread out content as much as possible.
We can't do it all here.
Yeah, I see how it goes. But the Estonia one,
It's calm, you know. I like it. It's very serene.
yeah, it does feel very kind of like like design chic. I think it's like, you know, did this be like the colors of like a furniture brand?
I feel like when they designed it, it was some students in the 1800s, and
Yeah.
it was some students in the 1800s who designed it, and I feel like they were all in like, you know, like Gucci coats, you know, their sleek
Oh yeah,
pants
yeah.
and everything.
No socks on.
Yeah,
robes.
Yeah, those shoes that open up all the way and you see their bare feet.
Yeah, what are they? Winkle pickers, is it?
I have no
Yeah.
idea, but
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, or no wait, like sliders.
I don't know. But regardless,
Okay, yeah.
it strikes me as I like it. I think it's fine. Not many cool facts. I think against the Slovenian flag, it definitely holds its own, personally, unless you have a very strong attachment to the mountain.
I do have a strong attachment to the
Do
mountain.
you know?
I'm sorry to say. The Tony Glove.
Really?
I do like it. I do like it as a logo and the stars as well. There's kind of something aspirational about it.
Fair enough. I'll give it to you just because Ireland didn't make it through. As a consolation. To keep you in
And I
the
gave
room.
Netherlands. So yeah, it's we're in the home of the EU. It's the art of compromise manifest.
Last matchup, France versus Cyprus.
Ooh, big boys versus underdogs here.
The French one famously, a few years ago in 2020, reverted back to a darker shade of blue.
I did learn this yesterday, yeah.
And not only darker shade of blue, the red also got a little darker, which I didn't realize.
Okay, yeah. God, it's classic.
I do like that shade of blue.
It's classic,
It
to be
is,
fair.
as much as I love the French, it is a bit
Looks into camera to really underline it.
yeah. And the funny part about it that I found out is that Macron decided on it, which one to keep,
Yes.
but gave no reason. He just chose one.
That wouldn't be like Macron. He's usually so consultative.
He usually includes the people so much.
Le peuple, that's what it's all about for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good flag. And obviously it's like...
But inspired by the Dutch flag.
But isn't it the colours of Paris as well? Red and blue?
Yeah, but they saw the revolutionary flag in the Netherlands and like, we should have a striped one as well.
And they were trying to find a way to shoehorn that into...
Yeah.
And try to make it like a French reason for it.
I guess so.
Yeah. Now Cyprus, guys, I kind of love the egotism of putting your own country on the
Yeah.
flag.
Me too.
There's something... It's kind of like last minute like homework job. Like Cyprus got asked to hand in a flag, and then the night before they were like, "Crap!" And they're like, "Why don't we just put ourselves on the flag?" And I think that's just fantastic. And then just like a sprinkle of like just little herbs,
But
you know,
it's
like a
not
bay leaf.
just
It's nice.
herbs. It's supposed to signify the peace between the people on the two sides of the island.
Again, it's like the Irish flag. It's aspirational. I would say we're aiming for peace.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Also, yeah, that is interesting because half the country on the flag is not actually that country.
Right. Yeah.
It'd be like if we had the whole island of Ireland on our flag. That would be, I think, a controversial move.
And I also think, ask any 10-year-old, can they draw this? Any element there? I don't think they can.
Yeah, it is fussy, guy. It is fussy.
To redeem it, that shade of orange, that copper, it's
Of
really
course.
nice on the white.
Because Cyprus
Yes.
is famous historically for its copper.
Yep, that's why
you
they
know
chose
what?
it.
That,
I
I'm learning
just
so
love
much.
that copper white contrast. And I had to go the extra way to put an outline around it.
the
for those
sandy
watching.
beaches of Paphos.
What do we think?
Guys,
Personally, leaning Cyprus.
I am leading Cyprus.
Goodbye, France.
Au revoir, la France. C'est le moment pour le Chypre.
And we're off to,
The races.
yes, the second round, the round of 16.
Oh my god.
We still have quite a way to go, but we'll fly through it.
Ways to go.
We'll fly through it a little quicker.
We've established our sentiments and the fun facts
Yeah.
have been said. So we should be quicker.
Okay, quickly. Denmark, UK. Pretty similar now to look at them.
Yes. Red and white. The Danes, historically, big influence on the Brits.
I guess they took them over a few times now.
Exactly, yeah. Canute and so on, all the boys.
Right.
I think, though, yeah, like UK, again, they've managed to integrate three flags in one,
Yeah.
which is...
I don't want to give it to them, but it just looks a little better, personally. Like visually, like not looking at any historical significance, anything about it. I just like that shade of blue a little.
It's a cool flag. It's a cool flag. I know. I'm being so mature. You know, I'm on a path of growth here, and part of that path of growth is say that the UK has a good flag.
I honestly thought the UK would have dropped out pretty early, but they had to perfect it. They had an empire. They
Yeah.
had to live up to it.
Ooh.
Georgia, Estonia, to those listening and not viewing.
And to those viewing, it's Georgia and Latvia.
Oh, apologies. I cannot get these two straight.
It's a Baltic mess up in here. Okay, Georgia and Latvia. Yeah, now Georgia up against Latvia is not looking as good.
I kind of prefer the Georgian flag here.
Oh.
I'm not hugely loving the carmine.
Latvia's a little weird and I like it. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Should we have rock, paper, scissors? Should we have some kind of tiebreaker?
Should we do alternating then again? Or rock, paper, scissors? Let's do that quickly.
Yeah, I think
otherwise,
so, yeah.
otherwise I'll gain this.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Sure.
Okay. Rock,
3,
paper,
2.
scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. There we go. Latvia.
There we go.
I had paper, he had rock, by the way, if you're listening. That is democracy at work.
Boulders all the way through.
They should do
Sorry,
that.
Georgia.
They should do that at trilogues, honestly. They should.
I
Maybe they
guess.
have. Maybe they have. I don't know. I'm not in the room.
Here we go. 2 red and white flags. Malta versus Austria.
I've got 2 words for you. Bore, gallantry.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the Austrian flag doesn't really hold up. I'm surprised they made it out of the first round, to be honest.
It's kind of like Austria, though, in like in a tournament, you know. That's
Right.
like, it's like a round of 16 team.
Right.
Like Switzerland, you know.
Yeah. I didn't include
Yeah.
their flag here, by the way. I forgot about them, to be honest. But
You could have just said that you had a different method for picking.
yeah, and also apologies, because I tried to include EU 27 plus UK plus EU, and then I needed to fill out a few more to get 32. And I was like, oh, let's do the people applying to be in the EU. I chose Ukraine, Moldova, and Georgia, thinking those were the ones, and my lack of EU knowledge was quickly exposed when I realized North Macedonia and Albania will not be quite happy. So
And Turkey is also technically candidate country.
yeah, we'll,
There's a few that are kind of on hold.
we'll do the rest of Europe sometime.
Yeah,
later,
we
I
have
guess.
the most recent 3 candidate countries, we'll say.
Next is Belgium versus Slovakia.
Slovakia, it's a good logo. I know you're hating on the Russian derivatives here.
It's so uninspired, in my opinion. Like, if you're gonna create a flag about national identity, when you just broke away from some oppressive state, do something more and add your coat of arms to it. Like, have some. I mean, technically the lines mean something else, but I mean, it's a Russian flag.
Yeah, it's like blood and water. Or whatever.
And the Belgian, I might be getting slightly hungry, and I live close to a fry place, which has a lot of Belgian flags on it. So
It's a good fireplace, though.
yeah,
It's a good fireplace.
It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Look, I'm willing to concede Belgium. I won the rock paper scissors, so I can't get greedy.
There we go.
Yeah, I think. Also, you know, like, we live in Belgium, so come on, let's do it.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no! Oh god, we have changed orientation
Oh God.
on the bracket.
How do I fix this one?
Now I don't know. Here we go. Just slide the 2 fingers there. This is going to sound inappropriate if you're listening.
I'm probably going to edit this out while I figure out what the hell to do here.
Yeah. If not, if you don't edit it out, let's just like have a quick chat.
Can I twist it like?
Oh, we got some movement there. Yes, look at that. That's beautiful.
Tell me when it looks good.
Yeah, looks good. Oh,
I think it's like a degree off, but if people
that's fine.
people won't notice.
Yeah. Okay, let's carry on here.
Next up, Czech Republic and Sweden. I'd say Czech Republic. I like the shade of blue. I like the little triangle.
I actually was going to say Sweden, but you know, I that was kind of like a 52-48 kind of thing.
Right.
So I think I'll have to go with Czech Republic.
There we go.
On that, yeah.
I'll give you. I'll be more favorable to your next take.
I'll be very magnanimous.
Moldova, Netherlands.
God, this would be a great upset for Moldova. Like,
2 sides to the flag in their defense.
2 sides
But is
to
that
the flag.
janky Romanian color scheme again? Not my favorite. Another coat of arms pasted on top.
Yeah, but as you said, there's room for improvement with the Dutch flag.
There is. But yeah, I guess so.
I was willing to sacrifice Ireland.
I'm willing, but not to Moldova.
Not to Moldova!
I don't know.
Wow!
The coat of arms is cool, but I don't think that should justify.
I think we have different flag philosophies. I think I'm suckered in by a coat of arms much more than you.
Because I viewed a more distinct a coat of arms and a flag. But
Then don't put the coat of arms on the flag.
exactly, and
Yeah.
then you just have a Romanian flag. So what do you
Okay.
got? But I don't know. Let's do rock paper scissors on this. I'll abide by it.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
You good?
So, rock, paper, scissors. There we
Great.
go.
He won again.
Scissors beats paper, baby.
Moldova moves on again.
There we go. They're dancing the streets of Chisinau.
Oh God. Croatia versus Portugal.
Damn, it's good. That's a good contest. Those are 2 very good flags. I think
Again, the Croatian part is just the coat of arms in the middle. I will point that out. Whereas the Portuguese has the coat of arms and
astrolabe.
the astrolabe. I thought it had a different name, but
Is it ancillary?
the ancillary.
Maybe just dub me over saying ancillary thing.
that is way too much effort.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think Portugal is a better flag than Croatia. I think just looking at them there in the cold light of day.
Yeah.
Okay, see, guys, we're making progress here. We're going quicker.
Slovenia, Cyprus.
Cyprus.
Yeah.
Cyprus. See, now it's just instinct.
Yeah.
Okay. God.
Now we have the UK versus Latvia. I almost called it Estonia there for a second again.
I could hear the pause in your voice. I wish it was a stronger country against the UK, because I don't want to say UK, and yet here we are. I'm about to say UK.
I think the Carmine looks better compared to the UK than it did to Georgia. I know I'm flip-flopping here.
But you're taking each one...
it's an individual matchup.
Yeah, exactly, relative to the other flag, which is, I think, the right way to go about it. I'm not talking absolutes here.
I personally thought Lithuania would get a lot further, but I think we kind of talked it out of it.
You didn't sound at all into Lithuania.
No, but I thought the color was, interesting. I think it was Lithuania against the UK.
No, you were thinking it was the Estonia flag. That was the problem. So
ignore me. But
I think the UK is going through. I think it is.
I'll let it go. You said it, not me.
Yeah,
so,
we all sound so depressed at the UK doing well. I'm sorry.
Yes, to the quarterfinals, Malta or Belgium. Malta, I think.
Yeah, look, we gave Belgium 2 victories.
More than deserved.
I think that's a lot for Belgium. I think Belgium will be very proud. And I think Malta here is showing that it's the little details that count.
Yes, and courage,
Yeah.
Gallantry, as they would say.
Yeah. Now, it is interesting because you haven't raised a coat of arms pointed with the Malta flag. It's a very boring flag.
True. That's a good point to point
You're being
out.
quite the hypocrite here.
But is the coat of arms that thing, too?
The Maltese cross, isn't it? Yeah. Like the Order of Malta, like the ambulance people.
I guess, but it just goes on it so well.
Yeah, no, I know.
It goes on it really well.
This is why I'm pro coat of arms, and you're like, oh no, it's the colour scheme that's important.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, sorry to expose you like that in front of our millions of listeners, but it had to be done.
Czech Republic versus Moldova now.
Not the strongest pairing here. I think the Moldovan fairy tale run has to end.
I think the Czech Republic flag has something. It's very simple. It was stolen, yes, but the fact they stole it meant it was something that we're preserving.
It was stolen from a site that no longer exists, so it actually doesn't count.
Exactly.
So it's not theft if the person is no longer real.
Apologies, Slovakians. You could have had this. Final matchup: Portugal versus Cyprus.
2 holiday destinations. Cyprus looks a lot more holiday-ish. Its flag, I mean.
The one thing that I will say, Cyprus is looking more bare now.
It's minimalist, yeah.
It's very minimalist, but it
minimalist.
also almost feels like somebody threw 2 random images at a wall.
This is what I said. It's the last night before you have the assignment
true.
due.
I see what you're saying now.
And this is what you come up with, like Kosovo as well.
Yeah.
Just
fun fact: only 2 countries to have themselves on a flag.
there we go. I think with Kosovo it's more actually with both countries it's more of like an assertion like this is our territory.
Yeah. It's very.
Yeah.
It's almost insecure, I would say. No, I don't want to put words in their mouths or feelings in their heads, but
and yeah, here we are. I don't know about insecure. It's certainly a political move. It's a lot more political than some of the other flags here.
Right.
I know some of these flags are political, like the post-Soviet ones, for example. But at the same time, they kind of have just created something which is iconic. I know you have your drawing test thing that we would fail, but also we failed the Portuguese flag.
Right. What side are you coming down on? I know we don't want to make a choice here.
No, I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to say Cyprus.
I'll agree.
Yeah.
I think that orangish copperish tint is just really
It's
attractive.
a beautiful copper. It's a beautiful copper.
If only the Dutch flag had that, they would still be here. So now we have The final four.
The semis. Here we go.
Semi-finals.
The semi-finals.
On the left side is the UK versus Malta.
Oh.
Interesting matchup. And on the right side, it's Czech Republic versus Cyprus.
Which is less interesting, I guess, historically speaking.
I guess.
Not much crossover between these two countries. Both start with C.
Yeah.
That's something. But yeah, UK and Malta.
I think Malta has to go for...
God, this is a tough
I'm
one.
not taking the UK to the finals. That's all I'm going to say.
Because we know it's going to win. You know what?
Do you really think it's that good of a flag?
That's a good flag.
That it commanded an empire and that it could still stand up to all the European flags?
And it can boss Malta around after all these years. You may have got away from us, Malta, but...
You see, Malta could argue there's a reason they took the UK off their flag.
Malta, mate, I'm sorry, but...
I'm going to
you're only going to make it to semi-finals. I'm sorry, Malta. I don't make the rules. I don't make them. That was my Michael Caine impression, going to say?
I guess.
Yeah?
I'm not sure of this
Sure.
reference. But
Let's say it was Michael Caine.
yeah, you're my point of reference. So.
Yeah. Spirits, speak comfort to me. That's Muppets Christmas Carol. Just I'm available for bookings. Anyway, you know what? Come on, Malta.
Yeah.
Come on, Malta.
March up there.
Are you the second smallest country in the EU? Is that right? Is Luxembourg the smallest? Is Malta
I
bigger?
think so. I'm not sure. Cyprus must be pretty tiny as well.
I think Cyprus is over 1 million.
Really?
I think so.
Fair enough.
But let's say Malta's one of the smallest countries in the EU. I met an MEP from Malta recently. Very nice woman as well.
Mhm.
So if MEP Coutier is listening, big up Malta and its flag.
For you.
Yeah. Okay. Here we
Czech
go.
Republic, Cyprus.
Is it going to be the time for the island nations to shine? This is my plan all along. Ireland weren't going to make it, but I was going to support my island brothers and sisters and siblings.
I mean, I will say the Czech flag, in its defense, it did something interesting to it. I don't see many like crossed section flags, triangular
It's rare.
elements.
It is rare.
It stands out.
But Cyprus did something even rarer.
Yes.
It's a hard word to say, rarer.
Rarer.
It's even rarer for Cyprus to do what it did and to put itself on the flag with that beautiful copper tint. I know you're a sucker for the copper.
I am.
Is that where the name comes from? Cyprus? Copper?
I think so. It was
Okay.
it was rumored to be that way. I couldn't get a confirmation.
Okay. He scoured Wikipedia and it wouldn't let him know for definite.
It was 12:30. Come on. Yeah. Let's take Cyprus up then.
Come on, baby. I would
The
not have
final
anticipated
two.
this to be the final. I had no thoughts coming in, but at the same time, Malta versus Cyprus was not where my brain was going. And that's the beauty of this bracket, you know? We were just taken. Now, if you hadn't revealed the Fort Gallantry thing, Malta would have left it a long time ago.
I was gonna say it changed my mind when I was doing my research. Yeah.
We've been swept along this tidal wave, and these two little island nations. It's the Golden Passports Derby. Sorry, Malta, not anymore.
Check out my Golden Passports episode
It's a
from a
good
few weeks
episode.
ago.
It's a good episode.
Shout out Niels.
Yeah. So, the
For
lads.
gallantry, it's good, but I think I'm falling into the trap that you were saying of judging by the coat of arms.
Hey, I don't mind falling into that trap. It's just that you made a big stink about it.
Yeah, because I
a
do
little
think
while
it
ago.
deserves a bit of a stink. It's not.
And it's very small. Like, and I didn't even know it was there. So we're judging on something that we had not known about its existence until today.
Right.
Whereas the Cyprus one, I knew it looked like that.
Right.
Should we zoom in? Should we just do a little zoom here?
Another zoom on the gallantry.
Yeah, I think it's the final, so we really got to pay attention to this. And what is that a VI as well?
I think yes.
For the number 6 or something else?
Yeah.
Or is
I'm
it
not sure.
UI? It's like a Latin U.
I didn't look into it too much. I just said it
Jesus.
said for gallantry. I'm like, hey, that's a language I understand.
No, it's the final. We don't have this basic information. What is the VI? The VI could stand for, I don't know, victorious incels. Then it would be good to get all.
Great.
Maybe subconsciously too, because it's the core colours. Maybe this is why I
Right.
I did it. Yeah.
I do think that simplicity of the Cypriot flag, it goes quite a ways though, and I don't know. It's humble. My personal vote is probably with Cyprus because I think if you go back to the roots of it, that red and white color scheme on the Maltese flag, it's pretty common. And then it's a coat of arms that really makes it stand out.
Yeah. It is a very basic flag, just with a little thing on top, a little sprinkle.
Yeah.
That's making the magic.
It's not very creative. On the other hand, I don't know if the Cypriot one could be called extremely creative.
It's so uncreative, it has become creative.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant, personally. Now, the Turkish government may not be impressed by this choice, as we are, as there is Turkish occupied territory on this flag. So we somehow managed to pick a flag.
The only controversial one, right?
Exactly. Good thing we didn't have Kosovo in this. But I think Cyprus, you're simple, you're the last minute job, and yet through that last minute rush, you stumble onto a winner. And for that, Cyprus, I salute you, and I need to visit you one day. And,
True.
And tell people that your beautiful flag is the best.
If anybody from the Cypriot embassies listening in would be more than willing to explain a rationale in a paid dinner sometime.
Yeah. I have a Cypriot friend here. She works for an MEP, so maybe we can get her on to discuss the flag.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, I think that was a great battle, knocking it out around. Some interesting choices. Please let us know down in the comments below if we messed up somewhere. If any...
Oh, I'm sure it just won't be controversial at all. That people will definitely not have strong opinions on this, so I think it'll be fine.
I'll definitely post on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. But
if you're willing to pay for it, yeah.
You're right. But if you enjoyed this special episode of the BRUBBLE podcast, it's quite long. I think we're closing in an hour and a half mark. But if you enjoyed and you support the Cypriot flag as a good design, please let us know. If you want to see more episodes like this, I have a lot of ideas where we can go with this.
He does.
Not only just the rest of the European flags, but also like coat of arms, national animals. I think there's a
If you don't want to see us go on, that is also fine. I would be upset because I would take that as attack against me personally.
We can replace you though. And me, I guess.
You could replace me. But no, I've had a lot of fun. I think that this was a good exercise. I learned a lot as well from your fun facts, and I hope the listeners/viewers learned a lot as well. So it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed having you on as well, Dan. I hope that you also enjoyed listening, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Slán.